A weekend trip to meet your girlfriend's parents can be a pretty terrifying ordeal, especially if her family likes to harvest African Americans to put their own brains inside their bodies. In typical horror movie fashion, we just can't help but imagine how we'd survive if we were in the protagonist's shoes. So today, we'll be teaching you how to survive the events of Get Out. Make sure you're taking notes and let's get right into it. Starting off with, leave a note. If survival movies have taught us anything over the ages, it's the importance of leaving behind a series of notes or messages to close friends and family about where you're going. Even if you don't end up getting your brain replaced with that of an old white guy, it's still important for people to know where you are in case you get into an accident or get lost. If you've seen 127 Hours, then you know just how much leaving a simple location can end up saving your life and spare you the trouble of having to cut off your arm with a penknife. Hey man, the odds may be 1 in a million, but better safe than sorry, right? What's the worst that can happen? Next up, use some common sense. One of the most important parts of what makes us human is the ability to use our heads and think our way out of a pinch. Though unlike the name suggests, common sense tends to be pretty uncommon nowadays. Luckily, if you have even half a brain, you should be able to notice anything wrong going on around you and consider taking an early leave from this weekend getaway. If you happen to notice that the only 2 other black people in this entire plot of land are the workers in the home who look like they're cracked out of their minds, then maybe it's time to ask questions. Plus, if you keep coming back to find out that someone is unplugging your phone every time you're trying to charge it, then you should maybe take a seat next to your phone for 10 minutes and make sure no one unplugs it during that time. Additionally, watching a man literally start bleeding out of his orifices and begging you to escape the place should raise some alarm bells in your head. And if all of that wasn't enough to convince you that something is wrong, then how about the fact that you found a bunch of pictures of your girlfriend with other victims that she keeps as trophies? Maybe not ask her for help escaping the house. But if after all that, you're still choosing to stay, then that's just natural selection at that point and we don't know what to tell you. But hey, at least if the family does manage to harvest your body, you can rest assured that with an IQ below room temperature like yours, they probably won't get much use out of it. But if you're not that good with your head, you can still use your body. The whole point about the brain replacement procedure is that these white folk believe that your genetically superior body is something that they want to take over. So use that to your advantage. Like, have you seen some of the people in this film? Half of them look like they'd get a stroke getting out of bed in the morning. So you really don't need to worry about them overpowering or outrunning you anytime soon. When push comes to shove, remember that you can always run away from your problems if you're fast enough. Just ask Forrest Gump. Make sure you keep up with your regular exercises and always limber up before you decide to get into any action. You wouldn't want to get a cramp while you're getting chased by a bunch of literal headhunters. Also, make sure that you're wearing loose-fitting clothing, such as sweatpants and t-shirts, so that your movement isn't limited in any way. Don't forget to carry your own damn keys. You can't trust anybody in this house, so you have to make sure that you have everything that you need to make your escape already with you. You should also already know that your girlfriend is in on everything her family has been doing. So for the love of God, take her back and take out the car keys yourself. She may be a 10 and help get racist cops off your back, but if she's helping collect victims for her family, then maybe it's best that you don't trust her with your stuff. Just some food for thought. You should also know how to resist hypnosis. Honestly, the biggest threat to you in this entire household is the mother, since her hypnosis can pretty much incapacitate you at any point with a single swirl of that teacup of hers. The film's protagonist had the right idea to stuff his ears with cotton and break the cup up before the mother can get to it, but luckily for you, there's a much simpler way to get out of that mess. Unlike what you might think about hypnosis, it's actually quite easy to break out of something like the body's paralyzing effects of the mother's technique. You can do one of 2 things. You can either carry something that makes a loud noise when you drop it, like a set of keys or a bunch of coins. What it does is, when your mind starts to fade away, the loud noise of you dropping the object will force your brain to wake you back up. On the other hand, you can do mental exercises to awaken yourself. Simply start solving mathematical equations in your head until your brain wakes up and you regain control of your body. At least all of those math classes you had to suffer through finally came in handy. If you want to be extra careful, you can do both at the same time for maximum efficiency and not have to end up getting stabbed by a crazy old woman right in your hand. Ouch. Remember to make some allies. You don't have to do everything on your own, you know. You can use the help of some unlikely allies that are already living in the house. At this point, you should have realized that a flashing light allows you to remove the mind control from one of the existing victims temporarily, so use that to your advantage. Before you make make your big escape, find the 2 other victims and flash your light in their eyes to wake them up and ask them to help you. Even if they manage to slow down the family from capturing you for a second, that's still a second you can use to get away. Plus, like we already saw in the film, they can handle themselves quite well and even take out some of your pursuers for you. It's a win-win situation at the end of the day. Their sacrifices will be remembered. At the end of the day, don't hesitate to knock someone out. Remember kids, violence is never the answer. It is the question, and the answer is yes. If you're being hunted down by a family of racists, then you can put your morals and sentimentality to the side and swing like your life depends on it, because at this point, it does. Float like a bee and sting like a bee, if that's what it takes for you to make it out in one piece. Plus, try and get your hands on a weapon for maximum efficiency. Just remember to make your shots count. You don't want to get winded out fighting these people off, because then you won't have any energy left to run away. If all else fails, just be attracted to men. If all else fails, then there's still one easy way for you to escape the grim fate that awaits you. Just be attracted to men. Hey now, hear us out. The only way anybody ends up at that house is if the daughter scouts them out and brings them home. So what's the best way to not catch the attention of a psychopathic human trafficker? Well, that's easy. Don't fall in love with her. If you don't catch feelings for her, then you won't get abducted by her. It's as simple as that. You may be scoffing now, but when you're strapped onto an operating table getting your conscience lobotomized, you'll be regretting your decisions. The best part about this step is that any gender can do it, even if you're a man. Be gay to keep the psychos at bay. And lastly, don't meet their requirements. These people have very strict criteria when it comes to selecting their victims. Not only do they have to be African American, but they also have to be physically fit and healthy. So as long as you make sure that you are as far away from that description, you won't have to worry about getting targeted. Who knew making unhealthy life choices could end up saving your life in the end? So, order yourself a pizza. Hell, order 2 pizzas. You're gonna need to bulk up if you want to stay in your own body. Plus, you get to enjoy some good food at the same time. What better way to live and stay living, am I right? You're not unhealthy, you're just making sure no one wants to steal your body. The end justifies the means. That's a wrap for this video. How would you survive in this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.